Reach for it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Timothy Hill, and I am the producer of the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show. Joining me today, I have my co-producer Trina, as well as one of our panelists, Kush. What's up, Kush? How you doing?
I'm doing
That's
good.
what's
How are
up.
you?
Doing good. So, Kush, could you tell our viewers who you are, what you're doing, where they can find you?
Yeah, so my name is Kush. I am a singer. I've been a singer for about 25 years. And you can check me out anywhere. Anywhere you can find your favorite celebrity, all you have to do is type in my name, Kuzh, no S, because that's disrespectful. And everything will pop up that you need to know about me.
Okay.
All right, so just a quick question about your name. Kush, is there any meaning towards it other than, stating the obvious, Is there anything that inspired you to come up with that name and use that name, Kush?
So, you know what's so crazy? It's crazy because I knew that you would say that it was because of the obvious, because most people would say, oh yeah, because it's because you smoke a lot. I mean, that, like you said, it is the obvious, but it takes a male and a female seed in order to create the strain Kush, period. When we had mid didn't require a female and male. You could grow it off of just the male, but the female would kill the male if you grew it with a female. Somewhere along the way, they figured it out, and that's when loud came. And anytime you hear my music, everything that I'm saying is just loud. So I was conceived from a male and a female, obviously. So Kush.
I like that.
I like that too.
I was looking for that. Okay.
Thank you.
You want to go or you want me to continue? All right. So was that something? I was checking online and we've seen that, you've opened up for a few artists like Waka Flocka, which I like, and OMG. Who was one of your favorite, or, who did you enjoy mostly opening up for?
It's crazy that you actually asked me that, because I actually was pondering about that the other day. I didn't get a chance to open up for Kendrick. It was actually like a listening party. But
okay.
And I was really shy, and everybody got to bring their music or beats, and it was very private. This is when he first came to the Coliseum in Richmond. And everybody played their shit. And then my assistant, who's still my assistant today, she was like, what are you doing? Like, this is your opportunity. And I just froze. She was like, excuse me. She wants to play you something. And he was like, yo, why you ain't say nothing? I was shy. When I turned it on, everybody in the room just looked at me like, whoa, like, because they weren't expecting that. Every time I walk in, I'm underrated. To this day, I'm still underrated. So meeting Kendrick Lamar was my favorite, but to really get to your question, it would be Gilly. Because when I see where Gilly is now, like, when I opened up for him, I was 17, 18 years old. It was in Washington, D.C. And then for a long time, I didn't hear nothing from Gilly the Kid. And then for like what he's doing in the show and like what he's standing for, like speaking positivity into the Black community, I think that would be the most, because he out of everybody actually took the time to talk. Like, it was crazy. I can't say what he said to everybody else, but I remember when I got off that stage, he said all the artists who paid to open up for him, he was like, he wanted to take a picture. So I came over there and we sat, and I got a picture. If you go on my Facebook, and he got his arm around me, he's whispering in my ear, and he was like, yo, out of all these niggas, he was like, you killed that shit. He was like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I seen you, I'm like, yo, this girl ain't got no swag. He was like, man, because he was like, I'm paid to sit here and listen to this stuff all night. He was like, man.
Yeah.
He was like, but when I held my head down, he said, I looked up as soon as you opened your mouth, and he was like, she's gonna be somebody. Like, and I get that every time I open up for people. So like, Gilly the Kid was definitely left an impression on me. And that, honestly, I'm not gonna say that was always like that. It was recently when he got the show, $1 Million Knowledge. Because like I said, I didn't hear nothing about him for the longest, but when he had that show, it changed my whole perspective about anybody that I've ever met.
Okay, that's what's up. So I had a chance to, dive into your bio as well. And I saw that you had an unpleasant business experience in the past. So what advice could you give to upcoming artists on red flags to look out for with bad record deals and stuff like that? And maybe you could walk us a little bit through what you kind of experienced.
That's crazy. Yeah, like, so what I would do is, number one, the main thing that you need to do, I mean, the number one in music, period, there's always somebody trying to make money. And I'm not trying to knock nobody hustle, but you have to do your research. It does not matter if I can pay my lawyers to look over a contract, even though I send my contracts to my lawyers and I'm not signing nothing until my lawyer gives me the okay, I'm still reading it myself. And, you know, when you get to these big companies, like they start putting words in there that, you know, that's what the lawyers are there for, but it doesn't hurt to type it the same way y'all can Google everything else. Google what it's trying to tell you. And that will be the main thing because, you know, I'm not going to speak on who the label was, but my second contract, because my first contract was actually a gospel label. I was singing gospel music at first. I did not do secular music. I was raised in the church, so that's how I kind of got into that. But when I went over to secular music, 100%, I did not read my contract. And I had an opportunity to actually work with Rihanna's people and do so much. And I did get the chance. And the way the contract was set up was I could not work with any other management. So the booking came, I'm out of the contract now. The booking came from another manager. It was actually a friend of mine. She's a model. Her mother is her manager. And she used to be in a singing group back in Universal Music Group back in the day. So she has a lot of connections. And she got me a gig to open up for Rihanna. And the manager wanted to work with me. And nobody would touch me. Nobody would touch me at all because they didn't want the lawsuit. It didn't matter about the talent. Like, it's about being a liability. And so the contract had me to where for even 2 years, if I wasn't doing anything, I could not work with nobody else. And he ran off with my money. So, you know, definitely get you a lawyer. And then after you get a lawyer, just, you know, don't be fooled. Like, everything is cool. Like, you're going to love the life, but don't be fooled into thinking that you have to rush. If you feel like, you know, it's a too good to be true moment, is, you know what I'm saying, do your research. It does not hurt. Don't feel like you have to be pressured because people are rushing you. I have literally I just turned out an opportunity to work with Zaytoven. And it wasn't that he wasn't real. It was on his blue checkmark page, but you know what I'm saying? You got to understand, again, I'm not knocking nobody's hustle, but you got to understand what you're getting. You know, you have to know your worth, you know, and there's just certain things, because if I say, hey, I'm gonna do a feature with you, and then you come to me and you say, well, hey, you didn't promote it. You didn't ask for that. The contract stated that you wanted a feature from me. You didn't ask me to post it on Facebook. You didn't ask me to post it on TikTok. That's what I mean, because people will literally be ready to fight and speak bad on your name. And then people have to literally go in the comments and defend and say, well, welcome to the music business. Because you didn't ask for that. And you would think, you know, as me, I don't do that. So when I tell you what I'm gonna give you, that's what I'm gonna give you. I do phone conferences and I record my phone conferences, and my contracts are written by my lawyers just to make sure my ass is covered. But people need to realize, like, the same way you would ask for what you want in a car, you want it under 100,000 miles, you want your payments under this, you need to treat your music the same way. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't even know how to register your music, let alone copyright it, then you don't even need to be worrying about contracts. You need to be worrying about learning how to collect your royalties. Because you'll be so ready to sign away everything. And, you know, by the time you get your check, your whole 100% gone. So knowledge, like, really do research. Like, before you decide to ask anybody, figure it out yourself.
That's good advice. And thank you for that.
You can apply that to, you know, all aspects of your life as well. So that's some really good advice, Coach. Thanks for that.
You're very welcome.
So to dive into a little bit more on your songs, I really do like, what's it, Love Rose? I like the lyrics to that song. And I was listening to Polly Love and I was just like, It's a nice little catch. It's a very catchy song, I must tell you. I enjoy the lyrics. I'm not going to sing it on here, you know, the message. It's a very nice song. So piggybacking on the music, you know, on the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show, you know, we're going to talk about all things relationships. Any taboo topic, no topic is taboo. We'll talk about it. You know, we hear different perspectives on everybody's views, given the question that's asked. So my question to you, with the song Polylove, it's a twofold question. One, what inspired you to come up with that song? And two, do you believe in poly relationships? Well, not believe. What's your thoughts on poly relationships? Is it more beneficial than monogamous relationships or not?
Okay, so question number one as to how the song came up. So I linked up with an influencer who actually was poly at the time, but I had made a decision before I got into my current relationship that I wanted to be poly. And so honestly, the lifestyle that me and my current were in, like we were trying poly things. And so meeting somebody poly, like I actually got to meet her in person, it kind of inspired, like the whole lifestyle really just inspired me. And honestly, it was an encounter that I had myself. And it inspired me like down to the T. Do I believe in oh, by the way, to get back to that part. So how the song actually came about. So I actually freestyled the song 100%. This was before I met the influencer. And we have receipts for all of this because me and the influencer aren't exactly on good terms. But I wrote the song 100% before I even met this woman. And how it came about was I had a car accident 3 years ago, and I couldn't walk, and my fiance would carry me into the room, and I decided to go live every day because I didn't have to work a 9 to 5 every day. I couldn't. And I did Freestyle Fridays every single Friday. And originally, if you look up the original, it is on my blue check mark page, you will find that the original was actually a freestyle to No Guidance by Chris Brown and Drake. And I put it out and it blew up. Everybody was like, we want a full song. We want a full song. And this was before Apple, 3 years ago, before Apple approved for us to actually do covers and get paid. We couldn't upload songs like that on Apple. And so the song blew up and I shopped for a beat. And when I shopped for the beat, I found one that was perfect for the song. And then we turned it from a freestyle into an actual song. And then, I'm not a person to talk down on anybody. I give credit where credit's due. The influencer at the time shared it on her page and she blew it up. And then the algorithm picked it up and blew it up. And now it's blowing up again. Honestly, I didn't put enough, at the time, I didn't have enough money. I'll be honest with you, because I don't sugarcoat anything. At the time, I didn't have enough money to really put the backing behind it. But now, like, I've been working so hard. So I have so much more reach now. Now we're able to do that. And like you said yourself, like I've had people calling me saying like, Polylove is everywhere. There's people using your sound, and that's what we've been working for the last 3 years. So it's an honor and a blessing for that part. But that's how that came apart. As far as for poly relationships, do I think they're more beneficial than monogamous? I feel like any solid and true relationship is always a blessing. You know what I'm saying? A person who's in a monogamous relationship could be doing better than a person in a poly relationship. But do they have benefits that monogamous relationships do not have? Of course. If you're talking about on the pleasure tip, of course, you have more people. I think what a lot of people fail to realize is sometimes love isn't enough, if we're going to be honest. And let me say why. And the reason why I say sometimes love is not enough is because that does not mean that you have issues that you want more than one person. And that has nothing to do with it, because every couple has that stage where they want to try something new, whether it's a new toy, whether it's a new position, whatever. They always have that area where they want to try something new. It's not because I don't love you and I'm tired of you. That's just like, would you eat burgers and fries every day? Your body would get tired of it. You want to try something new. That's because we're human beings. As human beings, we've always had to try something new, because if you didn't like something as a child, you spit it out. So your mother would give you something else until they found what you like. We've always had options. Humans have never been, of course, when we were suppressed, and so we're still suppressed today, but that's another topic. But back in the slave days, when we didn't have options, that's the time when we didn't have options. But we are spoiled, and we've come a long way from being able to actually say something and have an opinion without getting shot, killed, hanged, or, you know what I'm saying? Even though that's another topic. But, we're able to have an opinion today on what we want to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so as a human being, everybody wants to try something new. Everybody wants to try something different. And so, of course, on the pleasure tip, yes. Financially, 100%. 3 incomes is better than 1. You already have a monogamous relationship. We have 2 people. One person may have 2 jobs. and the other one may have one main job and a side hustle or a small business. So can you imagine if you have 3 people, that's 2, 4, 6 jobs. And can you imagine the income and the things? You're talking about financial freedom. So if you're talking about those things, yes, beneficial as far as for love. So it's a lot of benefits because those are the things
I
people
agree. I mean, I agree, but I understand. I definitely understand it is, but keep going. We listening.
No, like 100%. It really is, because a lot of people don't look at it in the aspect, like when you say poly to most people, I mean, and out of 34,000 people that have grown with me over the last year and a half, I literally can tell you how many, like, even if you go on the video on YouTube or on Facebook, you will see people that are like, hey, I'm not even into women, but this song is fire. And they'll leave their opinion like, I don't believe in poly for this reason. Like, people got into arguments over the comments. And the number one thing that people kept pointing out was, oh, I can't love another person and blah, 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 blah. The main reason why I think poly can work, and it will work if you have the right people, is because people sit here and cheat all because they don't want to tell somebody about the other person, not knowing if the other person even wants to join in. You didn't even give them that option to do so. And so a polyamorous relationships would definitely work out a lot better. I believe that the STD rate would definitely go down. I believe that a lot of STDs would just drop down to the ground. And the reason being is because we know about each other. A lot of people who get things is because they don't know. So there's a lot of benefits to it. That's why I said monogamous can be beneficial too. You know what I'm saying? But so can polyamorous. There's more love to go around. You're just getting to, and especially somebody I seen a poly relationship where there's a woman, she got 2 guys. Maybe the other guy is bisexual and he can't find somebody who.
I'm just saying we had this disagreement because he feels that the 2 man and the 1 woman there's not a lot out there, and it's like, nah, they're just not posting, but they out there. It's not just 2 women and a man. Gotta get that mindset out together.
Go on TikTok. You'll definitely see it. We actually see a couple here.
I keep telling him. I keep seeing it. It's
I need to get
there.
I need to see this TikTok then. See what the hell
he's
y'all
not on that side of TikTok, so we're gonna leave it.
You want to know the problem? Why a lot of people feel like that, and I'll tell you exactly why. And again, you said there's no limit. So I love to educate people, especially people who are small-minded, because our minds have the capacity to reach levels that people just will never get to see in a lifetime. And it's sad because they're not willing to expand their mind or knowledge. And the reason why lesbianism or homosexualism works for people is because I can tell a woman about a woman's body. It does not matter if I feel trans. It does not matter if I feel like I'm a man. It does not matter about what I feel I should be. I was born with things, and things have happened to me that happen to women. I can tell you what a woman likes better than a man, because see, she has to teach you what she likes. She doesn't have to teach me on the first encounter. It's going to be amazing. No offense to you, but it's going to be amazing, because I know, you know what I'm saying? And men try to say, well, I know too, I've been with women. No. See,
no.
You know what that woman liked. But
Correct.
See, as a woman, I know all around what a woman likes. So you can't tell me what a woman likes. You only know the women that you slept with. I know all women because I live in that body. And it's sad to say, and people just don't, people want to fight me and say, well, how you know you don't like it if you never had dick? I said the same reason why you know that you don't like dick and you haven't tried it. So the reason why a man, the reason why people, and Lord Jesus, y'all gonna be mad at me, but my fans know how I am. The reason why people or most men decide to do something with their homeboys because they don't want to tell anybody. But I'm telling you from personal experience, like the secret, testosterone, right? When a woman takes testosterone, obviously they grow hair. Testosterone makes men attracted to other men. Listen. I'm telling you from personal experience. Now, I'm not telling you I'm attracted to men, but I'm telling you the side effects of testosterone. So when you put a bunch of men in a gym, you're basically putting a fantasy together.
I said something to him the other day relating to testosterone, and you should have seen the look on his face. That would never happen. You know how
It's
men
natural.
Oh,
It's
what y'all-
natural. You can't.
what you say?
Look,
talk about the
it's
period.
natural.
What you mean?
He does like he said that with the testosterone. I said, you know, we got it too, right?
Which I knew.
You
Which
did
I-
not
which
know
I
that.
knew.
You did not
I
know
know
that.
females have both estrogen and testosterone because men have both estrogen
And
and
you know
testosterone.
how men talk about, you know, when you're on your period or, you know, when your meds in, you're miserable, you're this, you're that. And I said to him, listen, with the testosterone levels inside us, we're just like you. So if I'm acting like
So
that,
she said
then
that
that's
because
just like you.
she tried to say it as a threat, though.
I didn't say that. It's a fact.
You tried
Which is it not a fact?
You
Is
tried to-
it a
You
fact?
tried to say it as a threat.
It
Like,
is
I need to
science.
watch it because
It
my
is
testosterone.
science. Yeah, you need to watch it though.
Nah, no.
But to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you how I can prove it to you. Okay. Now, these people that I'm not gonna say their name, but the people that I'm gonna give you an example are friends of mine. They were all born women. Okay. One of the most reasons, just to throw out a fun fact for my people who are small-minded about LGBT communities, for people who don't accept trans people or who are already not in a relationship, it is very hard for them to find women to kind of, I guess, understand that you were born a woman first, or accept, not understand, because they understand, they just don't accept it. That you were born a woman and that you are giving, like, you look like a man, and some of them choose not to get their parts done. It is very expensive. Some insurance companies don't cover it, some states. And they're trying to, it's a mind fuck basically, because you're trying to look at this man, but this man has a vagina. Totally understandable. I understand. But nonetheless, it is very hard for them to find people to be able to accept them. So they decide to go with people who do accept them, which is trans women, which are men who transitioned into women. So just want to give you a fun fact about that before I give you the facts that I'm going to give you. Out of all of my trans brothers, all four of them, and the only one that I'm giving you an example, one of my trans brothers, his trans brother, promised himself that he would never get with men, and he didn't. But my four trans brothers, all of them are either bisexual or with trans women or men. They still want, one of them still wants to have children, and they do take penetration. And it has nothing to do with being accepted. It's the fact that they told me themselves that before they took testosterone, none of them were into trans. Matter of fact, one of my trans brothers who's bisexual was married for 10 years up till recently, and they've always been bisexual poly. And he was never into men before he decided to transition. And he said it was the testosterones. So that's why homosexuality has been going on, whether it's not in the biblical text, that's another conversation. Homosexuality was going on in the Greek days. The gods used to have men on men, women on women. The Greek gods used to do this before the end of time. So, and it's because the state of facts is a state of facts. You can tell your kids, right? If you have a daughter and a son, you can't expect for the mom to really tell, about puberty, because she didn't go through puberty as a son. She knows that kids, as they grow up, they ejaculate in the bed from wet dreams or whatever the case may be, but it would come better in a comfortable manner from someone who actually is experienced, and that's where the father would come in. So men, yes, they're naturally attracted to each other because they know what they want. And the topic of what I was going to get back to in that question is, women don't understand, and this is why poly relationships would work for a lot of men. One, it's not going to work on the downside because men don't like to come out and be themselves. But the reality is, when you are dealing with a man, men think that they are ejaculating because they are coming out of their penis. And I'm sorry to let you know that it is no more different than your wife rubbing on her clitoris. Men, your G-spot is not in the same place as a woman. Do you have the same G-spot? Yes, you do. But yours is in the back, and that is your prostate. And that is why some men, once they experience that, they try to keep it as a secret, because they've never felt that with a woman, because a woman doesn't want to go back there because she feels like that's gay. And that is because women are very uneducated about how a man comes. And that's why I said knowledge and research is key, because if people really understood that they were having sex wrong this whole time, and people try to tell me lesbian sex is boring. No, straight sex is boring, because you are still penetrating. I don't give a fuck what position you're doing the same thing, just in a different manner. We don't do that. We don't do that here.
Because you're going to be fun for the show.
Yeah,
you're going to be
I'm
fun
gonna
for the
enjoy
show.
this.
So we're ready, but we got to get ready to end the night. Do you have anything that you want to tell the viewers what you got coming up as far as your work or your business?
Oh yeah, for sure. So we definitely have a new project that's getting ready to release. I'm getting ready to release a new single, but Polylove will still be being pushed for the rest of the year. We're live twice a day as well too. I do a live concert in the morning and then at night, I let my fans and people all around the world watch me record the content, duet songs, or even a new single I'm working on every night on Bigo, TikTok, and then tomorrow I'll be back on Facebook as well. So you guys can catch me live there and then follow me. My name on TikTok is officially Kush. And like I said, we got lots of stuff that's going on, but mainly right now, Polylove. So if you haven't streamed Polylove, make sure you go check it out. The video's hot, so just don't show it around your kids.
Could you spell Kush again so the viewers could know?
That's Kuzh, no S, because that's disrespectful.
There you go. There you go. Well, that being said, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Farside TV, Smashing Concepts, Starboard Mind Records, and The Spit. So up until the end, June 15th, that's going to be the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Tickets are on Eventbrite for $5. Go on there. You can check out some of the past shows, and we hope to see you at the show. So other than that, Kush, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Kush.
We'll see you the
Appreciate
15th. All right.
Thank
Have a good
you.
night.
All right.
You too.
Nope. Nope.